We've just been down to Peaks Parkway. We abandoned the car at the side of the road, but please don't tell anybody that. And then we went over the footbridge, and the objective of that was to give Austin an impression of the scale of the site and how it geographically sits away from residential properties, away from the hospice as an example, including the cemetery, the crematorium, and how it actually sits alongside Peaks Parkway. And I think that's quite an eye-opener. You might wish to ask some questions on that of Austin. In terms of problems that residents have flagged so far, and also allotment holders, one is the allotment holders are concerned about their tenure being lost. The football club, any scheme actually, would have to go to the Secretary of State and get approval for anything relating to removing allotments. We would have to find a solution, and that would have to be satisfactory to the Secretary of State. So we have to find a solution for them. They can't just be turfed off site. Currently that allotment is around 30–35% occupied, and it's not a great major problem to find a satisfactory solution, which probably would bring about much better facilities, new sheds, water supplies, and you know, a better arrangement than they've currently got. The next sort of objection that's coming along is the people along Peaks Avenue, Wilsby Avenue, thank you. They have horrendous traffic problems at the moment relating to school arrival and leaving times, and also the crematorium services that take place. They sometimes can experience 15–20 minutes trying to get out onto the road. Now our scheme has the ability to take all of that traffic from the school, from the cemetery, onto a junction that we make to support our scheme onto Peaks Parkway. So there's a potential to solve some of their problems. In terms of foot access, our proposals will be relating to creating new footpaths which will take supporters not past houses. So we're looking for a solution of that sort, and that's very workable. Obviously it's been said that geographically putting a stadium near to a cemetery is insensitive. All I would say about that is the football club is very, very sensitive to bereaved families. We do an awful lot of work with bereaved families. We have wakes and all sorts at the football club. We've helped no end of people through difficult situations of that sort, and there are many, many precedents out there where cemetery and stadia are geographically very close together. You've also got a situation where York City, who have got the latest planning approval for a new stadium in York, and their stadium is only something in the order of 250 metres away from a cemetery. So there's lots of precedents out there where football clubs and cemeteries live in harmony. And I think broadly, the other one is traffic. People are suggesting the road is already congested, it can't serve a development like ours. Well, the facts of the matter is it's only congested at school leaving and arrival times, and other than that the road's fairly uncongested. But the facts are we operate when the roads are least busy, in terms of 3 o'clock on a Saturday and 7 o'clock on a Tuesday is when we actually have a game. So in real terms, congestion is without question not a problem. And you know, I don't want to stand here and glibly suggest, you know, we've got all the solutions, but of the problems that residents and indeed councils have brought forward so far, there seems to be a range of solutions that can come forward. Okay, so that's background, and in real terms it's Austin's opportunity to tell you what he feels about the scheme.
I'm delighted. John's convinced me, actually. I think this is the only scheme that's going to work and be acceptable. I've watched the travails of the club over a long period trying to get a new ground. You can see this is very restricted, and the potential that lies with a bigger ground, developing more facilities for the fans, and also associating it with profitable shopping or housing or whatever. Football clubs these days need that kind of external support. And you can also see, if you look at Scunthorpe, various other places, the potential for a new football ground, a new development, bringing in the funds, building up the the market and turning the finances of the club round. Now we need that in Grimsby. It's been a long and difficult struggle to get it, and I've watched John over the years being rebuffed in a whole season, probably about 6 to 8 attempts to put it on the docks, which was really, I think, unsuitable. The Millennium site, on the Willows. We've had 3 other suggestions, and in each case difficulties have come up at the last minute. And this one, I think the difficulties can now be removed fairly straightforwardly. If we have a new ground associated with the development of a superstore of some kind and an associated housing development, that will finance a new ground and a profitable development for Grimsby town, which we want to see succeed, and also for the town itself, a new centre which you can find on the facilities. Skateboarding and all sorts of other stuff can go there, and it'll provide a good centre. The arguments that have been put to me as MP about traffic congestion, if you've ever been to a funeral in the crematorium or attended Wintercombe School, you'll know that at school leaving times there's a huge traffic jam there. Well, I think that can be obviated. In any case, it's well away from the ground, but if a road through from there to Peaks Parkway would uncork the bottle and let things out. If there's a roundabout on Peaks Parkway and there's adequate facilities for parking on the ground, it enables people to come in from particularly from the south, but from all directions in the city, and park the cars and have a good time. Which is what football club is all about. You want to get there straightforwardly, you want to be able to park, and you want to be able to have entertainment and shopping as well, and I think this site will provide it. I'm not worried about the proximity to a cemetery, unless the town plays very badly and it gets compared with the cemetery. I don't think that will happen, and I think it's far enough away not to be a problem. It's far enough away from the hospice not to be a problem, and it's far away from the houses on the road to the crematorium in Wintercombe, who do object. They're objecting already, but I think their problem will be solved actually by a road cutting through to Peaks Parkway. So I'm happy. At last, I think this is a potential for a development that can go ahead and should go ahead, and the council should support.